What's up everyone? Today I wanted to make a quick video on how I make the perfect espresso shot using my Breville Barista Touch. I've owned this machine since about, I want to say December of last year, and I've looked at a lot of videos, I've done a lot of trial and error, and I've dialed it down to the right beans, and I will show you the beans that I do have, as well as all the right settings to get the perfect espresso shot pretty much every single time. So let's go ahead and jump in on how I do that. So I won't be going through every single setting in this video about this machine, but if you wanted to see a more in-depth review about this machine, everything that I've learned about it, drop a comment down below. First and foremost, I have a customized drink for myself called Sal, very easy there. A couple of things about the settings that I have. For the grind setting, I have it at 24 seconds. That's just something that I've tested, and I feel like 24 seconds is probably maybe overkill, but I ended up with 24 seconds. The brew temperature, or the brew time I should say, is at 30 seconds. And then also the brew temperature, it's at 150 degrees with the frother at about 3. So I kind of left it at that. The grind setting, I know everyone toys with the different grind settings. So my grind setting for the beans that I use, I set it at 12. I just feel like 12 is the right grind setting for what I need. But I think what's more important about than the grind setting, at least in my opinion, now don't get me wrong, the grind setting is really critical, but I think also the choice of beans for your machine is really important. I would prefer a darker roast bean versus a lighter roast, and the one that I have is from a brand called Island Coffee Roasters. This is actually something that's local here to Texas, so really good beans, and I actually picked this up directly from Whole Foods. One quick pro tip there is take a look at the roast date. The roast date is really important, not the sell-by date. You guys want to make sure to go based on roast date. This particular one here was roasted on July 7th. I actually picked up a new bag earlier this week, which I'm really excited about. But I think it's really important to go with a darker roast because I feel like these machines, they don't get as hot as the commercial machines, at least in my opinion. So a darker roast is going to be a lot better to brew an espresso versus the lighter roast. So I've tried out light roast and I feel like it's just not doing it for me. Okay, so we're gonna move on here. So I've got my scale. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on the accessories that I use. I know there are different techniques, different accessories you can buy. You don't need to go all out and spend a ton of money to achieve the perfect espresso shot. So one thing to invest in is a digital scale. This is the one that I have from Maestri House. This one is really good. I'll have some links down below. So if you wanted to check out any of these products, I will link them for you down below. So what you want to do is go ahead and put your measuring device on there and then go ahead and zero that out. And then make sure it says 0 like that. And then grab your beans of choice. I'm going to go ahead. I've already pre-measured this, so hopefully it is the right amount. And so I will tell you one pro tip that I found is the portafilter itself, the double basket one, can support anywhere between 16 and 20 grams. But what I found that works really well with this particular machine here is I landed on 17.5 grams. I don't know. I felt like 18 was a little bit too much and 16 was a little bit too less. 17.5 grams is a good amount to put into the double portafilter like here. And I will tell you that for the most part, as long as my tamping and everything else that I do, the grind settings are good, I will hopefully achieve about 2 ounces of espresso in about 28 to 30 seconds. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take these beans. And before I do that, I also wanna spray it a little bit with water. So I've got this little gadget here. It's just normal water. You spray it, and what that'll allow it to do is it will release the gases from the beans to make for a better grind setting and better overall brewing of espresso. Then I'm going to go ahead and spray the beans in here, 2, 3. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and give it a shake. Okay, got that. Now we're going to set this aside, and I'm going to show you a couple of things that we're going to do with the machine before we put the beans inside of it. Okay, so I'm going to take my double basket portafilter, pop it into the chamber. It's really important. Let's try that again. Okay, go ahead and pop that in there. And then on the screen, I'm going to go ahead and run some hot water on there, probably for about, I want to say 3 to 4 seconds. We'll stop it, remove it, dump out the excess water, and then want to go ahead and dry this off. So now it's nice and hot. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put the beans inside the hopper. Don't make the same mistake of leaving any beans in here. Sometimes they get stuck like that one. Drop it in there. And now I'm gonna take this little gadget that came with the machine, so I'm not using any additional accessory, and you pop this onto the portafilter like that. Make sure it's nice and snug. And then you'll go ahead and insert that here. And then you can either press the grind setting. I kind of like to make one tap in like that. Let it grind out the beans. And what I like to do is also give it a quick tap in case anything is still in there. So we're good, just to kind of make sure all the beans that we put in the hopper get grinded out. Now let's move over to the tamping station. So I'm going to take the portafilter with the ground up beans, pop it into here, and take this little gadget doohickey here. This basically separates any clumps. You just want to go ahead and give it a couple of swirls here, get into the bottom area of it as well. I think it just provides much more even distribution when we're good to go to brew. Pop it back into its little chamber. Now what I like to do is I like to just take this and give it a tap, maybe a couple of taps down, to have the grounds settle, just like this. Okay, so once you do that, now hold on to the portafilter, take the little doohickey off, and now I've got this distributor here. All you want to do is you want to align it on top, and then I kind of like to play around with it and just give it a couple of twists here. And now I think the magic happens with the tamping. So this one that I have here is from a brand called Normcore. It is quite different from the standard one that it comes with, because the standard one, I'm sure you guys know, you have to apply a certain amount of pressure. But what's nice about this one is it has a spring-loaded design. So it gives you that perfect pressure that you need to tamp down the coffee grounds here. So what you want to do is you want to make sure it's perfectly aligned. Put it down like that. And then a good amount of pressure, just downward. I give it a quick spin, and we are done. There is our puck. Look at that. Nice puck, very even, evenly distributed. The clumps are gone. And then another highly recommended thing that I encourage you guys to get are quality puck screen. This will help distribution perspective when brewing, but at the same time, it also helps keep the actual chamber clean from coffee grounds. So what you want to do is you want to just pop it into there, give it a little tap for good luck. Now let's move over to the brewing cycle so I can show you exactly what to do. Okay, so here we're going to go back into the sal setting, and then what I normally do is I run hot water again before I put the portafilter with the coffee grounds inside of it. Tap it there. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and connect the portafilter, just like that. Now let me grab my cups. So what I like about this is it's got a nice wooden handle. It also has the milliliters or ounces of how much coffee or liquid will be in here. So our goal here is to get to about 60 mLs, which is about 2 ounces. Okay, we've got a much lower perspective so you guys can see the actual espresso being extracted into this cup. So the goal here is to get even distribution of espresso, and that gives you an indication that you have the right level of tamping, the grind setting was good, and you also have done a really good job of prepping the puck for proper extraction. So let's go ahead and give it a try. And fingers crossed that we get the right level of extraction. Okay, here we go. On 3, 2, and 1, and go. And I will tell you, it takes anywhere between 6 to 8 seconds before you start to see the espresso getting extracted. That was right on the dot at 7 seconds. We are at 13, 14, and we're already almost at about an ounce. Feel pretty good about this, guys. 21 seconds, 22, 23, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 30 seconds is we are pretty much right there at about 2 ounces of espresso. I got to tell you guys, that crema and that espresso extract was really good in my opinion. So I think this is going to make for a fine latte, or I can just drink it on its own, just like that. I totally forgot to show you the puck. So I took off the screen. So let's see if it's a well-formed puck. So I'm going to go ahead and knock it out here. There we have it. Look at that. It's a perfectly good puck. Looks kind of like a brownie, so don't eat it. So this is the way your pucks are supposed to look, not too dry and not too wet either. If you guys want me to make any additional videos on this, I'm more than happy to do so. I make coffee each and every day, and I'm still getting better at it. But I think for the most part, my espresso extraction technique has been really good with the Breville Barista Touch. So if you are in the market looking to get one of these for yourself, I highly recommend it. Okay guys, and that's pretty much it. Here is my quality espresso that I extracted using my Breville Barista Touch. If you guys have any additional questions or want me to make some additional content on my coffee machine, let me know down in the comments. And more importantly, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my upcoming content, because I focus mainly on home, kitchen tech, and lifestyle product reviews. So I'll talk to you on the next video. Take care. Bye.